How goes it, YouTube? Major Cord here. Um, I'm not using a regular camcorder today because, quite frankly, I am too lazy to bring out a tripod, sit at my desk, clean off my desk, which, you know, I'm a college student. It's going to get very messy. Well, even if I wasn't a college student, it would get messy. But needless to say, I'm not in the mood to do that today, but I wanted to sit and ramble at you guys for a while and produce a bit of a philosophy video, which, given how much I like to talk, will probably turn into several videos. Hopefully not. I don't want to bore you too much. But today's little spiel from yours truly is going to be on my philosophy behind carrying a knife, which right now really is the only thing I can speak to personally, carry-wise. I mean, I'm only 18, which, is still 4 years, 4 years under the limit in New York to carry a gun. You have to be 21 to apply for your pistol permit, and God knows where I live, you'd be lucky if you get your CCW. But that's for a whole nother discussion. Start off, a bit of backstory. I started carrying a knife, probably when I was, maybe 13. And it wasn't something I'd do every day. I mean, it was more of a cool factor thing back then, like, oh, look, I can carry a knife. I'd stick it in my pocket if I went out, or if I knew I might need to go somewhere where I needed to cut something. And even then, I mean, my first knife that I carried was this cheap, crappy, I think it's frost cutlery, I'm not sure. No, yeah, maybe frost cutlery, or whatever it is. It's really cheap folding knife. I mean, there's no detent in the lock. I can flick it open, which I think is illegal. I didn't even bother using the pocket clip. I just stuff it in my pocket. But it started out my interest in knives, really, and, why I carry it now. Obviously, knives have a great deal of value as tools and means for self-defense, which, I mean, let's face it, I can carry a gun, so should I need to defend myself in a life or death situation? Sometimes my only option, actually really my only option besides running, will be, something like this CRKT M21. Pack some steel. This is the way I can pack steel. But I feel it is important to have a knife on my person as often as I can. And I find there are very few places that I go where I don't have a knife. But it starts off with this little Gerber artifact that I carry on my keychain. This has a blade on it. Little teeny hobby knife. I hardly ever use it because I normally carry something bigger, but it's nice to know that I have it. And if I do go somewhere where I can't have any blades, like if I go, walk into a public high school, I don't want to be dumb about carrying my stuff. I will take it off of my keychain, leave it in my car. Just because that's one of the few places where I know I really shouldn't be carrying a knife, because it is against the law, and I don't want to chance it. I want to respect the law as much as possible. But, so I always have this, or a little Spyderco honeybee, always going to have that. And, you got to get into more sheeple-friendly knives, perhaps. You don't want to always, if you got to cut something, you don't want to bring out this M21. Scare the crap out of people. I don't know why. I mean, it's only a knife. Knives are tools like hammers and, wrenches, but people will be sheeple, So, Opinel number 8. Nice little pocket knife, slip right into the pocket. No clip, but old-fashioned folder. This is a good size knife to carry. I mean, EDC, this is a fine size knife. In fact, there are sometimes, I mean, very rarely granted, but there are sometimes if I leave the house, this is the only knife I'll have on me. Because I know my likelihood of needing one is very, very slim. And if I do need to cut something, no one's going to be scared by this knife. No one's going to be put off by it. No one's going to, attempt to call the cops on me for having it. It's an honest-to-God pocket knife. This is of little tactical value. It's too slow to deploy. The lockup, it's strong, but you could get stronger. I mean, any knife could be a self-defense knife if you need it, but this is certainly not ideal. This is my second layer. I'll always have this, or almost always. Just slipped into my pocket with my, money clip and cell phone and stuff like that. It's always with me. And when I dress up, for performances, or if I need to wear a suit or a tuxedo, this will go with me. This will be slipped into the pocket of my tux jacket. Eventually, I intend to get a nice stainless steel knife, perhaps a Bird Cara 2 stainless, and mount the clips that it can be clipped to the left interior breast pocket. But that's for a whole nother video, assuming I actually end up getting it someday. This slips right fine into it. It stays in the pocket. And like I said, if I'm at an event where I'm performing, it may be in a school, in which case I will not carry this. But my most recent performance was at a church. I slipped this into my pocket. No one cared. Moved some of the risers when we were done performing. Had to take this out to cut a piece of zip tie. No one raised any red flags. It's a little pocket knife. This is not going to bother anyone. At least it shouldn't. And then we move up to medium EDC knives, at least what I call medium EDC. This, if I'm going out and I need to have a knife on me, I want to make sure I have something decent. Bird robin. It's a nice sized EDC knife. This will perform 99% of the cutting tasks you're going to need to do on an everyday basis. It'll do it just fine. If I could carry nothing bigger than this, I would be happy. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be happy. I want to carry as big as I can within my limits of comfort, but this will do the job, or this, which was actually my replacement for this. I got it for Christmas a year or two ago. Buck Vantage. It's a good knife. Very strong, has a nice deep concealing pocket clip. Slip this into my pants. Odds are I won't need to use it anyway. No one's going to notice this. I mean, when it conceals pretty darn well, no one sees this. It's really nice. But it's just another thing I carry. If I need to use this for self-defense, it's large enough. I feel comfortable enough using it. It's definitely good for EDC. And, it just drives the point home. I think it's important to always have a knife on you. I don't care what you're doing. Have one. Whether it be this open L, buck, bird, something. And, then we get into self-defense knives. I mean, really, when I have knives like this Bird Robin available, or this Opinel, that's what I would classify this CRKT M21 as. This is purely defensive. I do not take it out unless, well, let me requalify that. I have not needed to take this out to use it in public. If I were to take it out, it would be for self-defense. If I'm alone at home and I need to open a package and I have this on me, yeah, I'll use it. There's no one here to notice but me. And it excels at cutting things, by the way. But in public, use this. Something small. But this would be an excellent self-defense knife. Excellent self-defense knife. And when I go to school every day, odds are that either this or my Bird Cara FRN handled are going to rest in my fifth pocket in my jeans. I've found that on at least the style of jeans that I wear, both these conceal well in that fifth pocket. The one located right on your right side above your front pocket. These work. I can conceal these. Some people would say they're heavy. This is definitely over Nut and Fancy's 4-ounce weight limit. I think you're getting on 5 or 6 ounces with this. But I can carry it comfortably, and I know it'll do its job if its job ever needs to be done. And so I'm willing to carry that. I cannot carry a gun, so the weight I carry is relatively limited. So I'm willing to take on a couple extra ounces of knife. When I start to carry a gun, and I fully intend to, when I start to do that, I may have to reevaluate my knife choices. Scale it back. But that day will come, and we're at 10 minutes, so we'll move to part 2.